I'm Joe Rapari, and this is Tab, the Truth Always Boomer. It's time for another episode of Casual Fridays, so let's pull the tab on that and see what happens. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another Casual Friday. So, did you see Beto O'Rourke this week? That chucklehead? And that's the last time I'm going to call him Beto. I don't know what the hell Beto means or where he got that from. His name's not Beto. His name is Robert Francis O'Rourke. Check out this knucklehead.
This country was founded on white supremacy, and every single institution and structure that we have in our country still reflects the legacy of slavery and segregation and Jim Crow and suppression, even in our democracy.
Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert! Bullshitter alert! Warning! Warning! Bullshitter alert!
What did he just say? Our country was founded on white supremacy, and every single institution that we have in this country still reflects the legacy of slavery and segregation and suppression. I'm speechless. What a freaking flaming pickle brain. Okay, Robert Francis, let me educate you. First of all, have you read the founding documents? Our country was not founded on white supremacy. And every single institution that we have in this country still reflects the legacy of slavery, segregation, and suppression. Name one, Mr. O'Rourke. Ready? Go. Just one. Time's up. You got one there, old Robbie boy? No? Yeah, didn't think so, because there aren't any. You understand what the founding fathers were trying to do, right? They were trying to keep the new republic together because there were some states that were very much in favor of slavery. So they were trying to keep the union together, keep the republic together, because they knew they were in for the fight of their life against the most powerful military might in the world, and that would have been Britain or England. So they tried to keep all the states together because they knew they would have to fight the British, and they could only do that together. So, this white supremacy bullshit and slavery, they knew that their children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren were going to have to take on slavery at one time or another. But for them, they needed to keep everybody together. They needed to keep the states unified to fight against the British so they could create this new republic. They knew all about slavery and how it was wrong. But they had to keep the Union together, or the republic together. Good grief. And they knew down the line it was going to have to be addressed. But at the time of the founding documents, that was not the time. They needed to keep everyone in a united front. And eventually, guess what? We did fight a war against slavery. 700,000 soldiers died, winning the freedom of the slaves. So what a freaking chucklehead, man. Where do you get off saying this kind of stuff? What the hell state you live in again? Arizona or New Mexico? Where over there? I know it's a border state. I'm gonna come over there and punch you right square in the face. I don't advocate violence, but man, you're a jackass, man. You should be ashamed of yourself saying, yeah, our country was founded on white supremacy. You're an idiot. Every single institution that we have in this country still reflects the legacy of slavery. Okay, enough. Before I start using some real profane language. What a chucklehead, man. What a freaking chucklehead. And he's running for president? Okay. on the lighter side, during the school year, I went to my grandson's 5th grade class, and I did a presentation on physical fitness for them. And I've done some presentations on engineering. I've done a career day on engineering. At my daughter's school where she teaches, I did a career day on engineering. It's really cool to kind of volunteer and give the kids the benefit of all your knowledge and experience. So they gave me this card that says, "Thank you, Mr. Rapari," and then on the inside, these are kind of the cool things, and all the kids signed it. It's really neat. And if you've got time and if you've got some knowledge to pass down, it would be really cool if you could volunteer and do a career day, or do a knowledge day, or whatever your school calls it. It's really cool to go there and talk to the kids. They're our future. So yeah, it was really cool. So they sent me this card, and I'm going to hang it up down there somewhere. That's really cool. So I thought that was kind of neat. And on the lighter side, that's what life's all about, man. Helping the kids and watching them smile and ask. They ask a lot of questions too, man. Because I told my grandson, don't be afraid to ask questions. Ask lots of questions, man. And boy, oh boy, he certainly does. So that's a good thing. He's learning how to think critically. So he's on an upward path. So that's good. So then I was thinking the other day that I was going to write a Freedom of Information Act, or for requests for documents. You hear about it all the time. You hear a lot of people doing that, or organizations doing that. So I did it, man. I wrote a Freedom of Information request, and I'm going to be sending it in to the government. And check these out. And so, I'm going to be sending those in, and I got the envelope right here, actually. Right here. I'm going to be dropping this bad boy in the mail, and asking for a Freedom of Information request. And as you can see on this one document here, I'm asking for copies of any quotations and/or proposals from, and then I list a bunch of defense contractors, and then those quotations and proposals would go to the Department of Defense. And here's what I'm asking for research, development, reverse engineering, new engineering, manufacturing, and build of extraterrestrial aircraft and/or power sources, which includes but is not limited to unidentified flying objects, UFOs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, UAPs, anti-gravity devices, and/or zero-point energy devices. So, got the letter ready to go, and we'll see what comes of that. Never done it before. Another interesting little thing happened to me. I got this letter from AT&T, and it says, "Action required. Third alert. Copyright infringement may have taken place using your internet service." Oh, really? It says, it appears to have, let me read it again. Someone using your internet service appears to have shared copyrighted content without the copyright owner's permission. Really? Well, it wasn't me. And so I got to thinking, well, how the hell would AT&T know what content I'm looking at? Then it says, how do you know my internet service was used to share copyrighted content? Then it says, and I quote, "We received a notice from the copyright owner claiming that the internet protocol, the IP address for your account, was used for this purpose." You can find more information about the most recent notice, blah, blah, blah. And then they sent me this copyright notice summary, and it's got the notice ID number, It's got the content owner was Warner Brothers Entertainment Inc. Ooh, Warner Brothers. It's got the file name, IP address, port, file type, and a timestamp. Woo! Wow. So they're, I guess, they're really monitoring my, what comes into my house, what goes out of my house. I don't know. So I wrote a letter to the CEO of AT&T and to this company called Volbile. Volbile is the company that I guess Warner Brothers hires to monitor everybody's internet service, or they monitor everybody's IP address. So I guess AT&T got a notice from this Volbile company, and I sent him email. I sent a letter to him too, registered mail, to this Tim Irwin, Senior Vice President of Sales and Customer Relations from Volbile. Basically, I sent him a copy of this letter right here from the that I wrote to the CEO of AT&T. Check this out. So as you can see, I'd like to just read to you the 1 through 7 that's on this letter. I'll read them really quick for you. Here's what I wanted to know from the CEO of AT&T. Is AT&T directly or indirectly spying on, monitoring, surveilling, and or sharing my internet content without my permission? Did AT&T give Volbile permission to directly or indirectly spy on, monitor, surveil, and or share my internet information without my permission? How did AT&T obtain the information contained in the copyright notice summary? Number 4, the only way I could have been sent a copyright infringement alert is if you and or Volbile are directly or indirectly spying on, monitoring, surveilling, and or sharing my internet content without my permission. Is that not correct? Would you agree that AT&T and or any other entity would need my permission to spy on, monitor, surveil, and or share my internet content? Would you agree that Volbile and or any other entity would need my permission to spy on, monitor, surveil, and or share my internet content? And then the last one, would you agree that spying on, monitoring, surveilling, and or sharing my internet content without my permission violates my Fourth Amendment rights, where it states the right of the people to be secure in their papers, houses, Let's start that again. The right of people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And then I put this caveat in here. AT&T should only be concerned with monitoring my bandwidth quantity and quality to provide me with the best service possible and the most accurate billing as possible. Then I stated, even though all my encrypted and unencrypted traffic goes through my ISP, which is AT&T, that does not give AT&T the right, nor does AT&T have my permission to spy on, monitor, surveil, and or share my internet content. So I got this letter ready to go to the CEO. This is just a copy. And here's the letter all ready to go to the CEO of AT&T, asking him all those questions to see if he's spying on me. I want to know how they know. What content's coming into my house. If they're not spying on me, how did they know? So it'll be interesting to see what they say, or if they just ignore me, which that is what I think they're going to do. They're going to basically just ignore me. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. So another thing this week, did you see the female soccer team won the female World Cup? Yippee-yi-yo-ki-yay, eh? And this Megan Rapinoe, man, she's been going around trashing everybody, not everybody. She's been trashing Trump, trashing the country, trashing America. She's not going to the White House, blah, blah, blah. Check this out.
Invited by, I think, Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, I think Nancy Pelosi. Shout
out AOC.
I told you not to be stupid.
So does that mean, is that an invitation you're taking up?
I think everyone is interested in going to Washington. I think we've always been interested in going to Washington. This is such a special moment for us, and to be able to, sort of leverage this movement and talk about the things that we want to talk about, and to celebrate like this with the leaders of our country is an incredible moment. I don't think anyone on the team has any interest in lending the platform that we've worked so hard to build, and the things that we fight for, and the way that we live our life. I don't think that we want that to be co-opted or corrupted by this administration.
And going to the White House would be, in your opinion, risk co-opting or corrupting your message? Yeah,
I think so. I think it's an opportunity for this administration to sort of put us on display as their, sort of guest for the day. And I don't think that makes sense for us at all.
On that same cadence.
Yeah.
I think fans want to know what they can do to support that fight.
Fans can come to games. Obviously, the national team games will be a hot ticket. But we have 9 teams in the NWSL. You can go to your league games. You can support that way. You can, buy players' jerseys. You can lend your support in that way. You can tell your friends about it. You can become season ticket holders. I think in terms of that, that's the easiest way for fans to get involved.
So, I guess, she's been playing soccer since she's been 5, man. She grew up in a upper middle class neighborhood, She, was playing soccer since she was 5. She got on a travel soccer league. You know the drill. Travel everywhere, play soccer, and I guess she was pretty good for a girl. Yeah, she's been real oppressed, right? Yeah, real oppressed. She's been a real victim, huh? She got a scholarship to college to play soccer. Yeah, so, and then she, goes on these TV shows. Hey, shout out to AOC. Yeah, okay. Shout out to AOC. That's it? AOC is your, someone you look up to? Oh, my God. Oh, man, I don't know. Then she said, oh, yeah, we thought a lot about going to Washington and talk to the leaders of our nation. AOC? AOC is not a leader of our nation. She's not a leader of anything. So, if you let her lead and you follow her, you're a bigger moron than she is, for crying out loud. And then she said, the things we fight for, we don't want to be co-opted by this administration. The things you fight for? What things are you fighting for? You're a privileged little snot-nosed 30-something making millions of dollars kicking a ball around. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want to get that co-opted. Then she said, the administration wants to put us on display. Put you on display? So? So, what are you? You better than the Super Bowl winners? The Major League Baseball, the World Series winners, the NBA champions, the Stanley Cup winners. You're somehow in a different league than them. You don't want to be on display, but it's okay for all these the male champions to be put on display. Go to the White House. Give me a break, man. It's women's soccer, man. Nobody gives a shit. It's women's soccer. What else does she say? What else does she want? She wants everybody to make her richer. Come to the games. Buy the players' jerseys. Become a season ticket holder. Yeah, sure. Why not? Yeah, make us richer so we can be even more victimized by being rich victims. So, I don't know. They make me laugh. These women athletes make me laugh. So, here's some statistics for you. The 3 weeks of the Women's World Cup had 1.3 billion viewers. You got that? 1.3 billion viewers. One game, the Men's World Cup final, one game had 1.5 billion viewers. So 3 weeks as opposed to one game. The men had more viewers in one game than the women had in 3 weeks. So I guess, as far as I'm concerned, that's enough said right there. There's no pay gap. Equal pay for equal work. Yep, that's the way it should be. And that's the way it is in the U.S. You do equal work, you get equal pay. I don't care who you are. Man, woman, who knows what you are now these days. Whatever you are. You get paid equal pay for equal work. The only problem is their work's not equal. It's inferior work to the men. It's not the best work that can be done. So they get paid for what they're worth, which is not as much as the men because they don't do the same work as men. If they were to do the same work as men at the same time, the men would annihilate them. I don't know, it makes me laugh. I don't know, maybe you guys remember the story about the Silver Bullet, the professional women's baseball team? Yeah, it was gonna be a big deal. They were called the Silver Bullets. But they ran into one problem. They played a minor league baseball team. I think it was wasn't AAA. It was, I don't know, it was like the lowest minor league team for the men. They lost 13-0. Or 13-1 or something. And then they never heard of them again. Oops. That was a mistake. So, whatever. So, I guess, you can always go to the games, and when you go to the games, you can see her disrespecting and giving the double middle finger to these guys. Real classy, huh? She's a friggin'... What a loser, man. Who cares? It's women's soccer. Nobody cares. The reason I care, though, or the reason I'm talking about it is because they represent the country. They represent the USA. It's not about them. It's about the country. They got USA written right across their chest, man. USA. And then they come back and they badmouth the country and, and they're victims. They don't get paid as much, and all they do is complain. So, I'm sick of their complaining. Shut up. Kick the ball into the goal and shut the hell up. So enough about them. So, now, I know all you've been waiting for. This part of the Friday, Casual Friday. And that would be the... Golden Toilet Award for Loser of the Week, and that would be this. This lovely Golden Toilet Award goes to... Yep, you guessed it. Megan Rapinoe, Loser of the Week. There you go, Megan. Why don't you kneel down next to that lovely thing? Golden Toilet Award for Megan Rapinoe. She's the Loser of the Week. She is really disgusting. I don't know. Sometimes you just, I don't know, gotta wonder. So, that's it for now. That'll do it for another Casual Fridays. More news later. Take care, and as always, be safe.